Right, a new project is, I'd say, 1930s, maybe 1936, something like that. Austin 7. It's called a Ruby, an Austin 7 Ruby. Two-door saloon. Obviously stripped it all back. Got some rust issues because it had a sunroof. You have a water drain channel comes out here. Obviously that's rotted everything out, so you've got to take that out. The hard work bit on the front will be this panel under here that's rotted out. So you got, there's no realistically no point in repairing all the outer without doing the inner, because if you don't repair those channels, the water's just going to fill up your header rail. So yeah, just general rust issues. You've got a couple of bits here, that's not a problem. A few holes under here, might be able to weld those up. Originally it had a sunroof in it, sliding sunroof, so that would have been a board screwed on the back there, and this front section would have slid back into that bit. Yeah, obviously you're going to have to somehow try and get this front apart to do that. I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that yet, but it'll, once you start with a disc cutter, it won't take long. Corners are gone here, a few little bits of rust. That one's still solid, but obviously there's a nasty plate on the inside, look, which has been pop riveted on. You know, you go round it, there's rust. This plate here shouldn't be on there, much the same as on the other side, and the same on this whole lower section of your C or B post.
Yeah.
So that should match the other side. That swage line should run all the way down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's to do it on the Austin 10, exactly the same position.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, just general looking over it. You know, there's a hole there that can be welded. There, rust. But the biggest issue with it is the back end. It's been smashed up the back here. Yeah.
What tells you that?
Well, obviously where it's been bashed out badly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you look here, you can't, it's very hard to see in the light. That is a high line all the way around there, yeah? So, telltale sign, that, bang, has done that.
Right.
See, look, see this wooden fillet that's in here? So you've got 3/8 of an inch there, tapering down to nothing there. That's just a piece of wood they put in to tape your door gap up.
Yeah.
Now, when I offered the door into this, because he had the doors, yeah?
Okay.
And lining up the hinges, it wouldn't shut. It was hitting that piece of wood,
Right.
which tells me that probably the chassis is bent.
Yeah. Which is not unusual, is it really?
No, but you shim and pack your body to the chassis to try and get it all square.
Yeah.
If you look here, if you look at the angle of that bottom cut, see that?
Yeah.
If you look at the other side, it's a lot more sort of lot more right angles.
Oh god, yeah.
So that tells you that that back end, that side has gone down. The bottom end, right at the bottom, it's not actually connected to anything anymore. So that'll all have to be cut out. Trying to get as much of the damage on the back out as you can. I'd like to be able not to put that whole panel in, but I might have to make that whole panel. I can do all the swages, they're okay. But it's just getting the curve in the panel to start with. And then you've got to work out how bent it is. But you can do that just by basic measuring. Taking it, you're trying to match that side to that side. That side could be bent, but you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And when you look inside on the floors, that should run straight down.
Yeah.
So that tells you how far that is bolt in.
Yeah.
Boot floor's all been damaged, so you don't know what's going on with that. These are plates have been put in, there's pot riveted in, yeah? So take all of them out, get your boot floor flat, back to a line where you sort of know it's roughly the right shape, yeah?
Yeah.
Get your bows out of all this. Yeah, and the more you take it apart, the more rust you're going to find.
There's a bit of wood in the frame as well.
Yeah, that should have wood right the way round there, but I'm no chippy, so. But Kevin's a builder. I'm sure he knows a chipper. You can do something with that, you know.
What's the biggest challenge that you can see on this?
Just that back end. Yeah, but once you, again, it's like all these things. Once you get it apart and you can see what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Because all I do there is repair that boot floor back in. If I have to make a whole new rear section, I'll have to make a whole new rear section, but I don't particularly want to. The good thing is once you put your swage in, you can cut it on the top swage line, and you can actually weld to that, and that will give it won't warp because you've got the strength of the swage in it. You can weld along that line, and it won't, because if you try to weld, cut it there and put that in there, that'll warp like shit. It'll just go everywhere. So in some ways, once you've got your sheet of steel and you've rolled the basic shape in it, you're halfway there, you know. Because it has got, that's punched in as well, but if that's cut off here or there, whichever one, you can repair that area there nicely, and then you just roll your sheet in to fit it, put your swage lines down, because that just sits over the top of that. That's literally just over the top and spot welded in. So there's ways and means, by all means. Yeah, the back end will be the biggest challenge. I don't think straightening it, you know, bendy wise, will be a problem at all. I think it'll just bend wherever you want it to, especially once you cut that back corner out.
So where do you start? Just getting it straight and
Not necessarily, no. Probably hang this door, try and see what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, because your A post is solid, you know, and you've got 3 hinges, so you've got a nice solid
point to start
with. Put your door on, because the doors, they'll bend a little bit, but not massively. They're the same doors as that Austin 10.
Okay.
That they chop the tops off. And like to make the top edge to match the convertible, but they're the same doors, I think. So hang that, because when I just offered it up, it was hitting that. It couldn't even shut it. Which tells me that when the this side of the chassis is probably up. And the body's done that where it's been hit. So even if you have to cut this and shorten it or something to mount on the chassis, there's only holes under the body, about 4 places, I think. So yeah, it's not the end of the world at all. It's just what people get scared of. Oh my god, it's this, it's that, it's that. It doesn't matter even if you cut it in half like I did the other one. Doesn't matter, you know, because it was like that, do you remember? Where they'd welded it all up. So we just cut it in half, bent it all back into where it should be, and welded it back up again. And your remit is just really the bodywork and rust? Yes, yeah. The story is the guy who owned it committed suicide, and it's Kevin's daughter, who's a good friend of his, I believe. They're trying to get it ready for the prom night, and he wants me to look at the brakes on it when the chassis comes down as well. Hang that door, see what's going on there, which I don't think will be a problem, and then mount it on the chassis, pack it all up where it wants to be so you get decent door gaps at all times. You mark all your packers, so you know that when it goes back on the chassis you know where you're at, and then it can come back off, go back on the bogie, be painted, whichever way you want to do it. Cool. But as long as you mark up where all your packers are and you've straightened everything, people who, when they assemble it, they know it goes there, you know. So if you're going to chop it out and do it, you might as well get rid of all the rust. It's split. They'll all be holding the back wings on or doing something, but with it, he has got the wings down at Bucky's because Bucky primed it, but they are fucked. That's not even worth marking up. But when you start taking all this apart, there will be more rust in it. Oh good, yeah. Without a doubt. Look at this ripple down here. I think that's probably factory. Oh, you think so? Yeah, where it's been pressed. Yeah. You don't get a dent, do that. It won't go like that. It'll just go bang, there'll be a big crease up there. Now that's probably a factory pressing. Yeah, that's original double skin there. It's not that bent because I mean there's a little dip in the floor there, but nothing major. Obviously this plate will have to come out, that plate will have to come out, the back panel will have to come out. Repair all of this because that'll be years worth of filler and shit and God knows what in there, you know. that original lump there is where the differential would come up and down from underneath. It's been banged up. It all looks scary when you get into first bits of bodywork, you know, but I mean that's how flimsy they are. That's the floor pan. Nothing really holds them together that much. They're original rivets. Another one down there, but rust gets in behind it. As you can see, all the flange lines there. It's all rusted away. Just rip it all out, repair it, and I'd just weld that in there.
Yeah.
Rivet ain't going to make a shit's worth of difference in there. Like the original floors here. That's a rivet. That's a rivet. That's a rivet. That's a rivet. That's not there. There's absolutely no point in this day and age of repairing that and putting rivets back in it, unless you want an absolutely 100% original car. Then do it. But just run a weld, you know, an inch gap welds along it. It's fine. Yeah, fine. See that line there? That's metal underneath. Roof skin rolls over and just gets screwed. Those little screws don't actually hold anything together. They're holding a piece of wood inside.
Okay.
So that is level along there. There's a little bow down in the middle, only slightly. But if you look on the other side, you've got your piece of wood, and that's the original there. So that's bloody miles out anyway. They were never built that well.
No.
You know, I did when I rebuilt Dad's XK150, putting all it had left on the back was what they call tonneau panels. No boot floor, no inner wheel arches, nothing. So lined it all up, put it all in, and I phoned the bloke who supplied the panels. I said, I can't get the boot floor any squarer than 3mm.
Yeah.
You know, 3mm either way, so 6mm overall. So you cross measure, yeah? So you're 6mm out, that's 3mm either side.
Yeah.
He said, they didn't come out of the factory better than half an inch. I said, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I was like, really? He said, yeah, just don't worry about it, it'll be fine. So it's just the way things were made back in the day, I suppose, you know. I think this is original here. The cutout would be a windscreen wiper went up in there or something.
Okay.
But I've got to work out how to get...
Oh, that cut. Oh, I see that cut out. Yeah.
Yeah, this piece here. Yeah. How to get that panel out and how it's joined. Might be easier to cut that sunroof front rail out. I don't know yet. We'll have a looky see.
So is that a fabric roof like the other Austin?
I'm guessing so. The front section might be a metal hardtop.
Okay.
Maybe the back section was covered in vinyl. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. It's funny how people view things, because Kevin was like, oh my god, this is the worst thing in the whole wide world. That's the easiest bit on it.
Yeah.
You know, that really is very easy to do. But customers coming down on Friday, bringing the chassis down, so we'll have a chat with him and see. It's how far he wants to go.
Yeah.
You know, you can put filler in things, you can do what you like. It's literally how far do you want to go.